So Loki just played himself. Hey y'all, this is Hades, and today we're discussing Ragnarok Chapter 98. We got answers, and one of them is like, what? Alright, before we get into this, if you like content like this, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you enjoyed the video, I'd greatly appreciate it. Alright, let's just dive right in, shall we? Because again, wild chapter, we get a beardless Odin. That was neat. So yeah, we cut to Odin in his chambers, and he reveals he has all four items. He has all four items. And I was like, what? Like, for real, because I made the video of thinking, like, what could the other two items be? Because I assumed the ram head one, Beelzebub has somewhat, but no. Odin has all of them. Odin has all four. So rip that video. But that does raise a question on how does Beelzebub have Satan in him? Is there two Satans? I don't know. Maybe Beelzebub came across the skull, got it, and was cursed by it, and then left it, and then Odin came around and got the actual artifact itself. Like, the spirit's not in it, it's in Beelzebub, but Odin has the actual artifact, so maybe, I don't know, guys. This is confusing for me, alright? But yeah, we get more lore dump, we get more explanation on what's going on with the Yggdrasil and the items that they left behind. And essentially, they're telling Gold everything, like, yeah, the sword, Graham, the sword that Odin had, which he has, I guess he somehow got it from Siegfried at some point, which makes sense because apparently having those items, like Graham, led Odin to the other items. That's how he's able to get them. And in doing so, he has all of them now, but he's unable to bring back the other primordial gods. As Nostradamus explains, it's because the seal that the other gods put the primordial gods in the sphere, it's so strong that it just can't be broken that easily. Odin needs a ritual to be able to break it. So having all the Yggdrasil items, that's good, but it's not going to be enough. They need two more things, which one is water of life, and the second, the primordial vessel. And the water of life is essentially the destruction of mankind. And when they say water of life, I'm assuming blood. Like, it's got to be blood. And if Ragnarok happens now, all of humanity will be enough. When they get wiped out, that'll be more than enough to be able to bring back the primordials. And once that's happening, then the vessel will be drenched within the water, which I'm assuming blood, and they reveal who that is, and it's Siegfried. Siegfried is the primordial vessel because Odin, when he possessed the nameless god that became the Norse god Odin, he searched far and wide for someone that'd be able to be a good vessel for the primordial gods items, and in doing so, he went on a long, long journey. This explains why he would become the head god of the Norse, is because, well, he's looking for a god that'd be able to obtain all the abilities, right, of the primordials without dying. And they do explain that Norse Odin, the nameless god, when he first came into contact with Grimm, it was somewhat of a miracle because, like, the chances of that god having, being able to be compatible with Grimm is very, very unlikely. And the fact that he was is like, okay, wow. Because they explained that humans there's four different blood types for humans. I don't know if that's true. It probably is. I don't know. And for gods, there's much different blood types for gods as there is for blood types. Which is interesting because when we saw a coup from the spinoff, I know, granted, it's spin-off, but he was hooked up to a thing called what was it? The elixir? Was it elixir? No, it wasn't elixir. It was something else. It was like an IV drop, or IV or blood transfer. I'm not sure. Iker. It was Iker. It was connected to Ku, and I remember thinking, like, I remember that's the Greek god blood, word for their blood. It's golden Iker. And I remember thinking that. Granted, it's a spin-off, so it probably doesn't count, but I thought I'd just bring that up. But yeah, I guess my thing is the sword. My biggest problem with this chapter would be, okay, the sword, it just so happens to be, to the nameless god. I mean, it's like, okay, I get it. Like, they addressed it, but for me, it'd be like, well, maybe I would prefer it if it was like like two other scenarios. Like there's a place where any all gods kind of know it's there, and they try to wield it. They'll just sometimes die, so they just leave it. And the nameless god's like, you know what? I'm gonna go check it out, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it. I got nothing else going on for me in my life, and he does, and he becomes Odin. I think that'd be better. But the problem with that version would be if Susanoo would know about it. Susanoo would know, okay, that's ground that belongs to old Odin, so that should be under lock and key. No one should have any access to it. So there's that. Then another one would probably be it's just that like there's a cult that's been following the the primordial gods. They've just been trying to find someone that can possibly be able to be compatible with it. So they use some kind of magic or ritual to find someone that could probably do it. Something like that. That gives us more than just oh this nameless god. He just so happened to be able to wield the sword without dying. Like for me, it's just I might be thinking too hard about it, but that's how I believe. That's just not great. But I don't know. Maybe they'll show more about it. Which honestly could, to be honest. Maybe this nameless god is somewhat related to OG Odin, right? It's possible. But then yeah, they explain that the primordial vessel is going to be Siegfried, and once this happens, Siegfried will die. So if he gets those items in him and they bring back the primordial gods, he will die. Which okay makes it actually interesting because that means does that mean Odin, Norse Odin, will die? I'm honestly not too sure. I'm assuming he's doing this so that way that Siegfried could be the one to get it on. He's probably has a better body prepared to actually be used over Norse Odin. That's what I'm assuming. That's why Norse Odin has all the items, but he can't use them in the sense to be able to use it as a ritual to bring back the real primordial gods. So that's what I'm assuming. I could be wrong, but I'm figuring that's how it's going. And if all this happens, yeah, Siegfried dies. And Goal, being told by Nostradamus and Siegfried, she realizes that Brunhilde has taken a massive, massive burden to herself. And they even say, yeah, Brunhilde probably knows all about this. She probably does, and that's why she's been doing everything she can to try to stop Ragnarok. And Gold kind of realizes it's like, okay, everything's starting to make sense. It's not just like to save humanity for their future's sake, but to like prevent them from dying and to stop all the gods from being killed too. Brunhilde is taking on a massive, massive task, and I'm assuming if Brunhilde told other gods about this, they probably wouldn't believe. Like they most likely won't because they'd be like, oh, she's just trying to scare us, Let's just fight the humans harder, something like that. So Brunhilde is doing all she can. I wish we do see the future that she told Hercules. I doubt it. Honestly, Hercules probably it probably wouldn't be a good idea to tell Hercules because Hercules would probably be like, okay, I'm gonna try to see if this is true. And he'll probably tell Zeus, and Zeus will probably be like, maybe we should let the primordials out. That way I could fight them. Never mind, probably a good call. Don't tell Hercules. But then yeah, Gold realizes that she said this was for the sake of everyone else in this world, not just humans, but for gods. But I think Brunhilde is just saving the humans, wants to save them, and help Siegfried in turn of saving the humans, so he doesn't die, and also byproduct of saving the gods. Interesting. I'm not gonna like very very interesting. This whole twist here, which like okay, because I didn't know you have to sacrifice all the humans that are currently living on Earth, so modern times, for the Yggdrasil to be broken free. I had no idea. I had no idea what the conditions were for it. So any of y'all that called it, you called it. Like I didn't. I didn't know about it. I didn't think that. I thought Odin was just Norse Odin was just gonna need to find all the items and then be able to do something with Siegfried like as a ritual something, and then break him free. I didn't think he needed all the humans to die for it, but that does explain why Odin wants Ragnarok to happen. Why he said I've been waiting a long, long time for this, which I believe Nostradamus says Odin's been waiting a long, long time for this. So a callback to that moment for Odin. Interesting for sure. And I think Nostradamus saw that and he's like, okay, I'm just going to copy that because Nostradamus, sees the future. And then Gold does bring up the question, well, why in the world are you telling me all this? Why not bring my sister here, Brunhilde, to come and explain all this to her? And they're like, well, it's because you're the last piece, Gold. And then that's it. And of course, they leave us off on that. And I'm like, oh, come on. We might not get an answer to this in the next chapter. I hope we do. But we might. It might be like a few more chapters later. And then like halfway into the next round with Simu and I almost said Anubis. It would have been Anubis, Simu or Loki. So we might get more about that later. But I hope next chapter. But I don't know. As we cut to Berhilde and Loki. She called a meeting with Loki, and Loki's like, "Ah, look at you. You seem down. That's not the usual you." And then Loki's like, "Wait a minute," and he starts sipping harder here. He's like, "Wait a minute. You want my offer, right? You want my offer. You want me to save you, right? All right, I'm gonna go tell Uncle Odie, and then I'm gonna go tell him." And then she grabs him. She's like, "Loki," and then she begs him. She's like, "Please, I want you to fight in the next round." And just look on Loki, like all the women out there that simp for him. I'm sorry, I Loki. He's sipping. He sips hard for Brihilda. He loves this woman, even though she wants him dead. And even though this look on his face, like he seems absolutely heartbroken, as he says, "I see you go to such lengths just to save Siegfried, huh?" And then she says, I must. It seems like she's playing up something, but she does seem genuinely sad. But I think she's probably playing up the emotion of she wants to save Siegfried. She wants to save the humans, to save them. But she's using that sadness to try to lure Loki into a false sense of security. Even though she's like, yeah, I want you to fight next. So that way I could get you killed. So that, you know. And Loki knows that. He knows exactly why. Because she knows she wants Odin dead. She wants Norse Odin dead, and Loki knows that. And she's like, "I want you to fight next." And Loki's like, "Yeah, you okay? You know how sometimes when like either guys or women sometimes make mistakes, and they're like, yeah, yeah, you know what? I wanted to do that, because freaking Loki, Loki's like, Brunhilde, you don't need to beg. I was already gonna fight. I wanted to fight. In fact, I was next. I was the next one picked. I'm the next one to go. It wasn't a newbie. It wasn't a newbie at all. No, no, it was me. I'm the one going next. It wasn't him. No, no, no. I'm not. No, 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 no. I'm not listening to you. I'm not falling for your tricks. Just know that I was always gonna go first. I was always gonna go first. Loki tries to play it cool, and Brunhilde's like a bit surprised. Like, okay. And Loki's in the middle of his room, like just saying, laughing as he laughs. He says, "I see. So that's how it was, huh? I understand. I really do. You're planning to kill me to reach Uncle, aren't you?" And he just starts laughing maniacally like this maniac as his blades are slicing up the entire room, but they don't hit the Brunhilde doll. They don't hit the doll. Why? Because he still loves Berthilde. I think that's it. I think that's gonna be the cause. Is like he still loves her. She wants him dead, but he still loves her. Why? We don't know yet. I do believe we will definitely see his backstory on why he loves Berthilde, why he'll go to such lengths to be able to, be like, even though she wants to, to get me killed, I still like her. So we'll see. Because after all this was happening, I was like, did he destroy the doll? But no, the doll's still there. It seems untouched. As he says, I will murder you. I don't think when he says I will murder you, I'm assuming he's talking about Berhilde, but he ain't gonna do it. He can't do it. No. I'll save my thoughts because now we cut to Anubis coming and he kicks the door open. He's just so happy because he's like, I'm next, I'm fighting next. Woo! He's ready to get his theme ready. He's ready to walk out on stage. He's like, yes, I'm the one that's gonna fight next and fight for the gods. And then Zeus is like, oh, hey there, Anubis. Sorry, but he already took your spot. He's already going out. And it was like, wait, what? And it shows Loki. Loki's is the next one fight. He didn't even tell Zeus. It seems like Loki didn't tell Zeus. It seemed like he's like, all right, I'm texting. I'm going next right now. All right, I'll go fight. And Zeus is like, I'm okay. I mean, all right, it was supposed to be Nubis, but you want to go for it. So yes. Then we cut to Berhilde's room as she's saying, Lord Loki, please forgive me. I'm doing this for the Sega's sake and for humanity. Probably in the history of humanity, the only human who can destroy Loki, heaven's silent god, and his unusual tricks, is this person alone. Despite being human, this man has earned the name the White Death. We get more, guys! I couldn't believe it. We get more. As we cut to one of the Valkyries who's walking in the forest near Valhalla, as she's looking for Simu, as she is the 12th Valkyrie, Radgrid. So the one if before Gold, the Gold being the newest, this is probably the one before Gold. No, she is the one before Gold. And she's looking around for Simu, and she's like, you know what? It's time to take a break. And she's like this wonderful light coming down on her. These animals giving me real Snow White vibes, you know. And then right there we see a dog paw. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, wait a minute, is this like a god that's gonna be with Simu, or what? It's like a werewolf that's hanging out with Simu? Because I know a dog is with Simu, right? But I for a sec I was like, wait a minute. But no, it's just a good old, good old boy, good dog, good doggy. I love dogs. As he speaks to her, do we have a meeting? And she says, I didn't even notice your presence. My humble figure, I of course am the 12th of the Valkyries. Radagrid will accompany you. I am so sorry if I'm mispronouncing her name. And right there, Simu pets good boy as he says, let's go. Let's protect our fatherland. The White Death, Simu, heya. And end of chapter, holy freak, he's gonna beat Loki. He's gonna beat Loki. He's gonna beat Loki. I hope. Honestly, I can legit see it going either way. Simu has been being hyped. I know he has a lot of fans already, and he's freaking cool. He's freaking like a legend, like a real life legend from what we know of his story. So yeah, just yeah, he's great. And I don't like his dog. I don't want his dog to die. That's why I kind of think he's probably gonna die because he's a dog. Like that's a major red flag in anime in mangas. So I'm like, dang it, so cute, but he's probably gonna die. The dog and Simu. It's probably gonna be like a Lubu situation with red hair. I hope not. I hope Simu wins. But honestly, I can see it going either way. But if I'm gonna be said, okay, Hades, who do you think's gonna win? I'm gonna say Simu. Simu all the way. I'm rooting for Simu. If I have to pick, I'm saying Simu's gonna win, but it could probably go either way. And I can't wait to see these characters' backstories, and it's insane. I'm gonna give this chapter. I really, really like this chapter, but just the fact that the contrivance and the whole thing that set this whole story off is just because a god found a sword that he just so happened to be compatible with. Like aside from that, like this chapter was great, and I'm still waiting for an explanation on what's going on with almost said Lucifer. No, he died by Satan. Ain't that odd saying? No, but what in the world's going on with Beelzebub? Like, what's going on there? Like, he got Satan in him, but Odin has it. I don't know. But yeah, let me know who you guys think's gonna win. As I'm saying that, I'm thinking, I'm Sumu, and my rating for this chapter, I'm gonna give it a 7. A 7. I think that's yeah, yeah, a 7. Just for the sheer fact that yeah, the contrivance of getting the sword, but besides that, excellent chapter. Like if you cut that out, this chapter is probably like a 9 out of 10. But yeah, as it stands now, 7 out of 10. But I enjoy this chapter. I've read it like 3 times already, guys. I love it. And we got Simu, and he's going and he's gonna snipe freaking Loki, right? All you have to tell Simu is, Simu, everything in that region is your enemy. If you see anyone that looks like your friend, kill them because it's probably freaking Loki. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all. If you listen to this far, I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day and take care. Later.